Hi, I'm By Austin, and in this video I'm going to be covering the Detroit Lions who are coming to Miami October 21st to face the Miami Dolphins.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team.
Detroit currently sits at 2-3 and Miami is currently 4-2. So let's start off with talking about Matthew Stafford and his stats. So Matthew Stafford is at 66% on his completions. He has 265 yards per game, and he has 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 9 sacks. Following that, we have Kerryon Johnson, who's an explosive rookie running back, and he has 286 yards with 1 touchdown, and he's averaging 5.7 yards per carry. Then we have LeGarrette Blount, who has 117 yards, and he's averaging 2.5 yards per carry and has 2 touchdowns. The third running back is Theoretic, and he's out for the game, but this is a crucial player for Detroit because he's the 4th leading receiver. He's the 3rd down back for Detroit. Then we have Golden Tate, who's their leading receiver. And funny thing is, Jamal Agnew, one of their cornerbacks who's on the IR right now, tweeted talking about that Golden Tate is a better yard after the catch receiver than Albert Wilson is, and the stats beg to differ. So currently Golden Tate has 3 receptions, 431 yards, and 234 yards after the catch. Then in comparison to Albert Wilson, who has 23 receptions, 359 yards, and 224 of those yards are after the catch. So I mean, it's like one like that. There's a 90-yard difference between the two. So that tells you how it's going. Now Detroit's defense, they only have I don't know too much about individuals except for like about Ezekiel Ansah and Gulliver Quinn, but Detroit's defense only has forced 2 interceptions, and they have 6 forced fumbles and has recovered 4 of them, and they have 17 sacks, which is a lot, especially since they only played 5 games so far. So that's crazy to see that. And they're also allowing 222 yards per game in the air, and with rushes they allow 145 yards per game. Let's cover Detroit's past 5 games. So the first game of the season was a blowout. They got blown out by the New York Jets, Monday Night Football. Then to follow that, they lost to San Francisco with a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo. Then they beat Detroit. They beat New England. They really beat New England really bad, and that's mostly part to Matt Patricia, their head coach. Used to be a defensive guy there in New England for almost 10 years. So I credit that a lot to their win. He knew exactly how to beat Tom Brady. He knew what to do, and exactly told his team pretty much this is the blueprint. This is how you're gonna beat him, and they did that. To follow that, then they lost in a close game to Dallas. It was a 1-possession game. It came down to the last 2 minutes. Dallas had the ball and they kicked the game-winning field goal to go up by 2 points. They were down. Dallas was down by 1 before that kick. Then this is the game that really bothers me the most, and that was their Green Bay game. They were home, and Mason Crosby was not hitting any of his field goals at all, which is crazy because Mason Crosby's been in the game for a while and he's been making field goals all the time. He missed all 4 of his field goals, and he missed 1 extra point out of the 2 he took. And to be honest, that is a really sad performance. Take this: if Mason Crosby would have made all those field goals, and let's say the game would have played out how it would have played out if he made all those field goals, they would have beat them by 5. So, not discrediting Detroit, tremendous game, but Mason Crosby lost that game for Green Bay more than Detroit winning that game. Now I'm going to follow that up with what the Dolphins need to do to win this football game. They need their offense needs to run the ball, give the ball to Frank Gore, Kenyon Drake, maybe get some Kalen Ballage in there. I mean, we need to get our running backs in there and really put Detroit's defense to the test and make them get tired, make them wear them out like we did to the Chicago Bears. And it works out because we're in Miami and it's super freaking hot there. Their sideline is in the sun the entire game. I mean, if it's a 1 o'clock kickoff, they're not escaping that sun. So that's good for the Dolphins. They are in the shade and they are calm, cool, and collective if they run the ball and just get the job done doing that. And if not, they need to protect the Brock Osweiler like they did last week as well. The offensive line had a great game. That used to be one of the biggest problems in the past couple of games. I mean, if you look back at the Cincinnati game, Ryan Tannehill did not have like 3 seconds to throw the ball, and that is really short. Imagine having 3 seconds to do something. Imagine having 3 seconds to look throughout the entire field and aim for a guy who you can't see because you're getting tackled with a matter of 3 seconds. Also, so that was what the Dolphins need to do on offense to win. Now let's follow up with what they need to do on defense. On defense, it needs to contain Kerryon Johnson to very limited gains. I mean, he's averaging 5.7 yards per carry. We need to bring that down. We need to average him at the best I can say is probably 3. But knowing stuff like people break out for big plays and then so on. But limiting his rushing is very pivotal. And then next is stopping Matthew Stafford. Now, by stopping him, I mean pressuring him, because obviously you can't stop a great quarterback to the standard of Matthew Stafford, because I think he's a great quarterback, but you need to pressure him. If you pressure him, he's going to make, not dumb throws, but he's just going to make throws that are going to be really tight, and it's going to go either to the offense or the defense, or it's just going to hit the ground. And I hope that the secondary can withhold their own and stop passes from Matthew Stafford, force turnovers, get interceptions, get your hands on the ball, and get your offense in a good position, because the defense has been doing that throughout the season, and they've been getting us where we need to be. And unfortunately, sometimes the offense doesn't pull through, but it's a group effort. They need to get the job done. Now let's go over the injury report. Miami has 3 players listed as out for the game. And that is Jonathan Woodard. He had a concussion last week against the Bears. Then we also have Ryan Tannehill, who's been hurt since Cincinnati. And also Charles Harris is now listed as out with a calf injury. Hopefully we can get Cameron Wake back, Bobby McCain, and also AJ Derby. Those 3 guys are expected to return. They should be in uniform playing on Sunday. If they don't, be pretty sad, but both sides of the ball would love to have those guys back. For Detroit, Kerryon Johnson was the only one listed as out. Ezekiel Ansel, one of their best pass rushers, might be out for the game, so that'll be big for Miami's favor if Detroit is out if Ezekiel Ansel is out. That's about it for the injury report. Now, let me go with what the final score is going to be. Final score in my head is going to be Detroit 14 and Miami 18. That's what I had on my article following the Bears game, and that's what I have coming into this game. So that's about it. Let's go Dolphins. And if you like the video, please like the video down below, subscribe, comment, anything. Also follow me on my Twitter and my Instagram. I'll have those linked in the description as well. And also thank you for watching.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team.